Today I'm going to show you a super efficient route through the Polestar Expedition Redux in No Man's Sky, helping you complete this in just a few hours so you can get back to life without missing out. To start things off, I'd recommend ensuring that multiplayer is turned off in your network settings. We will be claiming a crashed ship, and if you have multiplayer turned on, it likely won't be there for you. Secondly, you can make things very slightly easier by altering the difficulty settings a little. While they have minimums, there are a few like survival elements, sprinting and technology damage that may be beneficial for you to lower. You'll begin this one on a freighter for a sweet change of pace. We'll be using this throughout to warp around as your starship in this expedition has no hyperdrive. When you gain control, talk to the captain and go through the captain's log option. Claim the milestone Log 1 Emergency. Now fix the atmospheric control unit, but be sure to use a repair kit to fix the chromatic metal requirement and not the chromatic metal you have, as we'll be using that later. Claim the rewards for all hands on deck. Now fix your hyperdrive, and again we'll use repair kits for the chromatic metal option as well as the antimatter housing option, while using the antimatter we received to fix the third. Fuel the hyperdrive, it's time to warp to the next system. Use a terminal on the bridge to enter the galactic map. The specific terminal is on the left side of the console when looking from where the captain is. The auto-generated path should point you toward a system called Asdush, which is 104 light years away. Head there. Welcome to Asdush. We're going to claim the majority of the resources we'll need for the whole expedition here, as well as polish off quite a few milestones, but it won't take long. Claim the rewards from Engage Engines. Install the salvage hyperdrive it gave you and place it so it is touching the main hyperdrive module. Also transfer the Starship launch fuel it gave you from your freighter inventory to your ship. Now build a fleet command room in your freighter base. After a few seconds you should have the freighter fleet mission in your log. Make sure it is focused, then interact with the fleet command terminal in the room you just built. This should give you the frigate fuel blueprints as well as 200 tons of fuel. Go to the NPC standing on the opposite side of the console from where you access the galactic map and talk to him. Pick any of the 5 expeditions, select your only frigate and send it out. Now head back to the fleet command room and abandon the mission, then debrief the frigate. You need to do this 2 more times, so back to the NPC, send a mission out, then cancel it at the fleet command terminal and debrief. Head down into the hangar, get in your ship and head out. It's time to shoot some space rocks. Find the nearest asteroid field and shoot 30 asteroids. Now pulse over to the nearest planet to you. It's called Jade Prime. As you enter the atmosphere and see the coordinates pop up on your ship's HUD, you'll need to be in first person for this. Navigate your way to the coordinates plus 5.94 by minus 41.67. We will find a crashed ship here. You could use almost any crashed ship, but this one is worth over 2 million in scrap, is located near a cave and isn't far from water. As you arrive, look out for a dark patch of land nearby, get close enough for small rocks to load and shoot the surface a bunch. You want to gather 925 or more ferrite dust in your ship. More won't help you, but you need the minimum. Land at the shuttle. Claim the rewards from planetside and install the X-Class Hazard Protection module. Scan all of the flora, fauna and minerals you can see. One of the trees on this planet gives condensed carbon as a secondary resource, so mine that type of tree until you have at least 30 condensed carbon. Now craft a hermetic seal and a metal plating. Head over to the crash shuttle, claim it and fix its pulse drive. There's a cave at the crash site. Head over to it and scan the rocks hanging from the roof, coming up from the floor, as well as a small plant present, and the cave marrow. Now mine the cave rocks until you have 350 cobalt. Also grab at least 1 marrow ball when you're there. Once you have your resources, jump back into your original ship and back out again to make it the active ship, then head east. Over a few hills you'll see the ocean. That's where we're going. On the way to it, be sure to look for other flora, fauna and minerals to scan, as well as dihydrogen crystal patches. You'll want 80 dihydrogen, so be sure to get that on the way. Once at the water, go out until you find depth enough for crystals and heat vents to exist. This planet has a lot of really shallow areas, so it can be a tad annoying. From the ocean, we are after more things to scan, so scan the fauna and flora. We also need some resources. You need 180 salt, which can be gathered from specific smaller crystals, 40 cytophosphate, which is gathered from one of the plants. Lastly, you'll need 7 crystal sulfide, which is gathered from the side of heat vents. Each vent will have 3 on it, so you'll need to find 3 vents to grab the 7. With everything in hand, make your way to the nearest bit of land and summon your ship. Before leaving, ensure you have this list of resources. Pulse into space, summon your freighter and head in. Craft 2 dihydrogen jelly. Now build the refiner room in your freighter base. Claim the rewards from both a well-oiled machine and stardust. You should absolutely not use the warp hypercore you just got as fuel. You will need it later to build the technology, and it will be tricky to say the least to replace it. Now it's time to get a bunch of refining done. First, take whatever marrow bulb you have and refine it to sodium. If you don't have 20 sodium, refine the sodium with the oxygen to make sodium nitrate. This can be refined back to sodium at 2:1, so just multiply it until you have 20 sodium. Next, refine 220 ferrite dust into pure ferrite, then again into magnetized ferrite. Now refine 340 of your cobalt into ionized cobalt. Refine 40 of the salt into chlorine, and finally refine carbon and oxygen into condensed carbon. You'll want 165 condensed carbon. Dismantle the matter beam in your freighter technology. Now craft a few things. You need 7 antimatter, 7 antimatter housing, then make those into 7 warp cells. Then make 1 ion battery, 6 metal plating, and 1 hydrothermal fuel cell. Put the fuel cell and metal plating in your exosuit inventory, and if there's room, put the warp cells, ion battery, magnetized ferrite, and ionized cobalt into your freighter. Use 4 of the 7 warp cells to charge your freighter's hyperdrive, the other 3 are for building something later. Now build the storage room in your freighter base. Claim the rewards from supercargo. Install the interstellar scanner technology in your freighter. Claim the rewards from galactic catalogue. Now we can warp to the Rendezvous 1 system and really get going. This is a nice quick system. Head into your hangar where the crash ship you claimed is waiting, jump into it and fly directly into the station. Pop up to the scrapping unit by the exosuit vendor and scrap the reclaimed shuttle. Claim the reward from both recycling and call by the stars. Install the ship shield, movement and launch thruster modules. Now go to the trade terminal and sell the subatomic regulators, spool of nano cables, the treasure item, frigate fuel, mineral compressor, explosive drones and holographic analyzer. Focus the Rendezvous 1 milestone, leave the station and pulse to the marker. All of the rendezvous in this expedition are crash freighters, though this is the only one on land. You'll find it a little west of the marker, likely laden with comballs. Land at the freighter and briefly get out to trigger the milestone. Claim the rewards from Rendezvous 1, give a quick second to scan for fauna before leaving the planet and returning to your freighter to warp to the next system. Our next system is an unmarked pirate system, so in the galactic map line up your current system with the galactic core behind it. Then look below it and slightly to the left for a system called Tolenart XVI. It is 86 light years from you. Warp there. This is an even quicker system. Jump in your ship and fly into the space station. Buy all of the contraband items the vendor sells. These will be the top 3 items in the trade menu. Head back to your freighter, we're warping again. This time you need to align the galactic core behind the Rendezvous 2 system, not the one you are in. Once aligned, move the camera back a little until you can see 2 red systems on your left quite close to you. Look upward a little and you should see a yellow system that is 227 light years from your current system, called Metriku. Warp there. Exactly the same as the previous, except with an added task, so go and buy the contraband from the station, only this time after purchasing the goods, accept the pirate kill mission from the mission giver. Leave the station and pulse to the pirate mission marker. You'll have 3 waves of 2 ships. I would suggest focusing on a single ship at once, using your photon cannon to get their shields down, then one-shotting the unshielded pirate with your rocket launcher. Big thank you to Budget Reno and John Hall for confirming that on Switch. Budget Reno makes some No Man's Sky content. I'll link his channel below in case you are looking for some new content. After defeating these 6 pirates, start pulsing away and call your freighter to enter and open the galactic map. Warp to Rendezvous 2. Your first task in the Instas system is to talk to the captain and read the next log entry. Claim the rewards from log 2 into the black. Build the orbital exocraft materializer in your freighter base. Claim the rewards from drop protocol. Make sure you have the metal plating, crystal sulfide, 100 salt and hydrothermal fuel cell in your inventory and leave the freighter, making a straight line for the station. We have contraband to unload. Sell all of the contraband you picked up in the pirate systems. Claim gold like sands. Sell the terrifying sample you got from that and then buy 2 microprocessors. Before leaving the station, check ships flying in for chromatic metal. This blue hauler sells it. You only need 30 or so, but it is needed. Focus the Rendezvous 2 milestone and pulse to the marker. This crash freighter is underwater, but a bit of it is poking out. You can land your ship on this, so do so. Jump into the sea and scan the fauna. Now build the Nautilin chamber on the sea floor. Get into it and charge the engine with the fuel cell, then just move a bit. Drive over to the centre of the freighter. Claim the Rendezvous 2 milestone. Now head up into space, summon the anomaly and pop in. Go to the back area where the researchers are and access a terminal in between the multi-tool and exocraft researchers. You need to buy the amino chamber blueprint. Use the anomaly's teleporter to get back to your freighter. Craft an amino chamber. Now build the teleporter chamber room in your freighter base. Now we can move on again, so warp to the Rendezvous 3 system, Amnica 3. Upon warping into our 7th system, talk to the captain and read the next log entry. Focus the Rendezvous 3 milestone, leave the freighter and pulse to it. R3 is another submerged freighter with a bit that you can land on, which is convenient. Scan the fauna around you, this should finish off the 15 you need. Move to the centre of the crash freighter to trigger the rendezvous. Claim the Rendezvous 3 milestone. Head back up to your freighter, where you have some rooms to build. Firstly, claim both the Engine of Life and a Life Beneath the Sky. Then build the double cultivation room. Now build the Stellar Extractor room. At this point you may need to delete some other rooms for the silver and such. None of the rooms are particularly required later, so choose whichever you prefer. Claim Power and Industry. Next build the Scanner room. Claim Farseer. Then build the Galactic Trade room. Now we can warp to Rendezvous 4. It may require 2 warps to get there, dependent on your RNG for the hyperdrive bonuses and upgrades. The first task is to talk to the captain again for the 4th log entry. Leave the freighter and boost over to the nearby NPC freighter fleet, check frigates that are available for purchase, and buy any that are around 2 million or under. Next fly into the station and pick up the mission to destroy pirates. Leave the station and pulse to the pirate marker. You will get 3 waves. The first will have 2 pirates and the second will have 3. You only need the first wave, so once you've dealt with the first 2 pirates, start boosting away, call the anomaly and enter to escape the rest. Then just exit and head to the 4th rendezvous. This is another submerged wreck with a little bit exposed that you can land on. Once you have the milestone triggered, claim its rewards and head back to your freighter. Warp to the final rendezvous system. On entering the system, talk to the captain one last time to trigger the log milestone. Claim Log 5 Horizons. Be sure to move the homeworld repeater to your ship's inventory. Access the Manage Fleet terminal opposite the captain and unlock 3 of the squadron slots. Head down to the hangar and invite the first 3 NPCs that land into your squadron. Exit your freighter and boost over to the nearby NPC freighter fleet and purchase the remaining frigates. Focus the Rendezvous 5 milestone and pulse to the markers. We're nearly there. This submerged crash freighter doesn't have a bit exposed to land on, so land on the nearby little island and jetpack over. Get back to your ship and pulse into space. While pulsing, use a homeworld repeater in your inventory and focus the Deep Sleep Cruise milestone to be sure. Exit pulse when it triggers. Answer the communication. Pulse away from the space POI and summon your freighter. Once inside, construct the Singularity engine and speak to the captain to activate the second option. Congrats, you've completed the 8th Expedition Redux. If you are deleting this save after, be sure to claim the rewards in time and spend the 2,400 Quicksilver you have at the Quicksilver Synthesis bot. I hope this guide was helpful. Be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it and maybe check out one of these videos next. Members and patrons can find the written version on the appropriate platform or via the Discord member channel. Have a fantastic day folks, lots of great content coming this year.